Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. This will be taken in at the 1. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the first carry for Tarik Cohen. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. To throw is Bridgewater. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Tyler Davison in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Making an immediate impact in 2017 was T.J. Watt, the 30th overall pick out of Wisconsin. Everyone expected him to be a guy who could rush the passer, and he did that well with 7 sacks. His ability to play against the run, to hold the point of attack on the line of scrimmage, also really showed big in his rookie season.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This is Cohen, and they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen, 14 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that, too.
They run. This is Cohen. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taylor Gabriel with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
And now look at him go. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Tevin Coleman, 76 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
This fielded at the 2. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Malik Jackson able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked.
And he's going to go down again. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Bridgewater. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double team. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Kyle Juszczyk, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are in for 6. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. He got 29 yards that time.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
This is caught. Gronkowski. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Rob Gronkowski, his fifth touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken it. And Detroit getting set to go now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way...
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up and down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. Stafford drops it off for Coleman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards there and a first down.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. Second down. Bridgewater now on second down. Airing it deep for Garcon. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
On third down, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Johnny Hekker now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And Gronkowski's got it. Complete over the middle. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Now Stafford looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Gronkowski, the intended receiver. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And
down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Bridgewater to throw it. Dancing to his left. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. Second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Second down, Bridgewater. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Well, I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Lee. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On to stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. To the Vikings now heading onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And his throw is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. Cooper's got it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ballgame. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed. But there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games? Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Second and 10, Stafford again. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They go play action here on 1st down. Gronkowski got it on the crossing route. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amari Cooper, his 9th touchdown of the season. And if the Vikings can take care of business on the extra point, they will have the lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Detroit. 51 yards.
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you avoid watching what they do. It's everywhere. All the highlight shows, watching it on Madden, trying not to get intimidated before you go out and have to play against these guys and try and stop them. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now they'll run it with Cohen. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. Finding Gabriel complete. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt. Just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality. He's under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll make it third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the side.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Back to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. What a play. Maybe a game-saving play on the knockdown there.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? If you're looking at it from the defense's perspective, they looked like they had a shot at it. Maybe a completion. Ball gets knocked away. Can they rise up and do it again?
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish him off.
The score that puts him in front here late, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He's back to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Fourth down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Miller. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
One last shot now for Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Vikings, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a brake light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know.